Parents, how did the system fail your child? My daughter Emma came home from 4th grade asking if we were poor. I told her we were doing fine and asked why she was wondering. She said her teacher, Mrs. Davis, announced to the class that some kids get free lunch because their parents can't afford to feed them properly. She wanted to know if that was us. I felt my stomach drop. Emma had qualified for the free lunch program after I lost my job at the marketing firm last year. We were supposed to be getting back on our feet, and I thought nobody would know. The next morning, I called the school office. The secretary assured me that all teachers receive comprehensive training on handling the free lunch program discreetly. She said there must have been some kind of misunderstanding, but Emma kept coming home with increasingly strange stories that made me more and more uncomfortable. Mrs. Davis would call the free lunch kids up to get their trays first, making them stand in a separate line from everyone else. She told the class it was just to help the cafeteria staff organize things better and move the lunch line along faster. Then Emma mentioned something that really bothered me. Mrs. Davis had started giving out special Gold Star stickers every Friday afternoon to kids who brought lunch from home, because according to her, their families really cared about proper nutrition and were setting a good example for the whole class. Emma asked me why she never got gold stars like her friends Madison and Tyler. I didn't know what to tell her without making things worse. I decided to take a half day off from my new job and surprise Emma by having lunch with her at school. I wanted to see this situation firsthand before making any serious accusations against a teacher. When I walked into the cafeteria that Tuesday afternoon, I couldn't believe what I witnessed. Mrs. Davis stood at the front of the room with a clipboard and loudly announced to everyone, "All free lunch students, please come up and get your trays first so we can get you served quickly and efficiently." About 8 kids, including my Emma, walked to the front while 30 other students watched from their seats. The shame and embarrassment on their faces was absolutely heartbreaking to see. Then Mrs. Davis turned to the remaining students and said with the brightest smile, "Thank you to all the wonderful families who pack healthy, nutritious lunches for their children. You're showing real responsibility and care for your kids." I stood there filming everything on my phone, my hands literally shaking with anger. This woman was publicly humiliating children whose families were struggling financially, and she was doing it with a cheerful smile on her face. I walked straight to the principal's office and showed him the video I had just recorded on my phone. His face went completely white as he watched the footage. Turns out Mrs. Davis had been running this public shame campaign for several months without anyone knowing. When confronted by administration, she genuinely believed she was motivating parents to pack lunches instead of relying on government assistance programs. She actually told the principal she thought public recognition and positive peer pressure would encourage families to take more personal responsibility for their children's daily nutrition needs. The principal was absolutely mortified and apologized profusely to me and promised immediate action. Mrs. Davis was suspended that same day pending a full investigation by the district office. But here's where it gets even worse. The investigation revealed that Mrs. Davis had been keeping a spreadsheet tracking which students received free lunch and had been sharing it with other teachers during staff meetings as examples of families who needed intervention. She had also been encouraging her teacher's aide to document what the free lunch kids threw away so she could send notes home about food waste and government program abuse. The school board was called in for an emergency meeting. Parents started coming forward with similar stories about their children being singled out and embarrassed in front of classmates. One mother shared that her son had been refusing to eat lunch at school for weeks because he was so ashamed of being in the free lunch group. Mrs. Davis was immediately terminated and banned from working in any school district in our state. The principal implemented new policies requiring all lunch programs to be handled completely anonymously. Emma now gets her gold stars for excellent math homework instead of lunch choices. She's back to her normal happy self at school. Some people should never be trusted around vulnerable children who are just trying to get through their day.